Hello and welcome to the Classic Gamers Guild podcast. For those of you who are patrons of ours, or Patreons, whatever they're referred to, you will be hearing the trials and tribulations of what it took to get to the start of this episode. Because we kind of went through a recording session that didn't quite go the way that we expected it to. And now we're here.
My confidence is shattered after that.
Yeah. We're both pretty
scared.
defeated right now. We're both kind of we're kind of resigned to just hoping for the best at this point. But we did come across today's topic, which is which game world would we like to live in? To be clear, this isn't which game do we want to be the main protagonist. This is just like if we were us and we existed in the same world as one of these games, which one would that be? So we don't get to be the hero, we're just us, and we are not heroes, clearly. At least in my life.
Oh, mate.
Which game world would you like to live in, Paul?
Man, throwing the ball right to me. All right.
Immediately.
Let's get his train wreck started, shall we? What every podcast listener loves to hear before they settle in and trust you with their time. All right, so I've picked kind of a few. I was really have just this one that I could really sell. But as usual, I kind of don't, so I'm just going to list a few I got. We can go back and forth, so I'm not talking non-stop. But I assume, and I really hope, that you, buddy, have a good one with some substance for me, for everyone.
Well, this was really difficult because there's a lot of worlds that people like to think that they want to live in, but the whole point of these games is that they're always very hostile environments, even like if some place is pretty. You go to Gloriana from Quest for Glory and hey, Spielberg's cool. It's like, yeah, until dinosaurs and cheetahs and brigands all come chasing after you. Like they all know where you are and they beeline right to you and you got to fight like 3 of them for every 100 meters that you walk.
Yes. I was going to mention Spielberg at one point, and that I came to the same conclusion. I'm like, well, it's visually very cool. I love it, but I'm not suited for it. I don't have the necessary skills to live there.
And I think it would just get old. Even if presuming that you had lived your entire life there, you would have gotten good at combat just for sheer survival. It's like, oh, hey, what are you going to do? I'm going to go for a walk. I better bring my sword because everything's going to try to kill me.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the problem with a lot of these. And not to mention, what's like one of the problems I ran into was every category of game except for sci-fi or in the future with space and all that, you got to live with no electricity, mate. And sometimes you got to live hundreds of years before the invention of toilet paper.
Another good point. Yes, that's that's why heroes wore capes.
People were having it off for years without toilet paper, mate. That's just think about that in your traffic.
You also got to figure about a place like Spielberg, where it's like there's 10 people who live there, and like half of them are part of the Thieves Guild. So you're not really going to have a good time living in town.
Yeah, let me just lock the curtain hanging loosely over the hole in the wall that is a window. It's not secure, is my point. It's bloody the opposite. Yeah, it wouldn't be good. I got a few places on my list that are kind of crossed off just because of this savage type of lifestyle you'd have to acquire living there, and I'm not going back, mate. All right, we've evolutionized to this point. We're used to a certain way. I'm sorry, I'm stuck in this time. Like I put Gold Quest. Bloody might as well be. What the fuck? What's the name of that game that you really like? Me. Bloody Gold Rush.
Yes,
sorry.
Gold Rush.
This is gonna go great. Much better than last time so far. I was thinking that, but I'm like, I mean, that's the Wild West. Like, that's where I live now, but with, no electricity, internet.
Yeah.
90s trope, like, oh, it was better times. I'm like, no, it wasn't. I was there. It was shit. There was no internet. Entertainment was corny. It was... Anyway, off on a tangent there. So, I guess, you did pass the ball. I kind of threw it back and distracted you into talking about something else. But I'll buckle down and go with my first pick here, which is Buddy Space Quest.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a cop out. I'm aware. Because I'm just trying to put myself in the best possible situation because of all them things I done said a second ago about electricity and entertainment and things like that. Before we came up with the rule of don't be the player in that game, just be in their world.
Yes.
Well, since that's the case, I'm not putting myself there as Roger Wilco, but I am putting myself there as a janitor for a twist. That's my way of kind of self-checking. Some balance where I maybe give myself a nice, decent life in the future on a spaceship, but I still got to be a janitor. So that's by choice, not because of Roger. And that's what I'll tell anyone that asks me. I'm a janitor by choice, mate.
So what are the benefits to living in the Space Quest world? Other than Monolith Burger existing.
Oh, come on. Well, you took the only one I had from me. Christ.
Sorry.
99% of my answer is Monolith Burger.
Fine. Go into that then.
I'd eat a lot of it for starters. Play a little Astro Chicken while I'm waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of Groundhog's Day. Just do that until my heart stops, I guess.
All right. That's pretty much what I do anyways. In my real life. Just not in space. I do have a thing for a McDonald's.
Yeah, I bloody do too. And my dishwasher's broke, which is just a perfect reason not to bother cooking.
Yes.
But anyway, enough about the poor state of my arteries. Well, you got the aluminum mallard, right? I got a nice. I mean, even if it's not a nice spaceship,
Roger Wilco does.
That's okay. Mine has a different name, but it looks just like it. I assure you. And
he found that in a trash heap. You would be getting something like that little you'd probably get something like that little vessel that digs into the ground in Space Quest 1.
Oh, do you mean the Gralian cruiser? Because I have their fandom page pulled up right now. And you lot thought I just knew these names offhand. Aluminum out. Yeah, no, I went to the junkyard actually the day before him and got an even nicer ship that had been thrown away for no real reason. I mean, that's got to be a pretty posh future to live in. They're just throwing spaceships away. Working ones. Yeah, you got to get like a battery, a thing of oil, whatever you had to get. But it's a free spaceship, mate. Like, even if it's a shit spaceship according to the time I'm living in, I got a spaceship, mate. You should have seen when I had a Subaru at home. This is awesome.
All right, that's compelling. That's a good argument.
I could like Star-Lord it out, get all my little Earth trinkets put all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing cassettes, but I'll have a mixtape.
I guess as long as you know that you're not supposed to steal from the vending machines, I think you'll be generally okay, right?
Yeah, temptation's still there now, even more so because I want to get away with it. But yeah. Oh, can I? I was just thinking, isn't there a ship that looks like a turkey breast? Or not the breast, not the, not their bosom or whatever. A whole chicken, a whole turkey.
Yeah, that's in the VGA remake of Space Quest 1.
Right. Oh, it's called the Arcadia, I believe, from memory, not this website I'm on.
And if I was to live in Space Quest 1, it would be the EGA version. I'm sorry, I know EGA VGA is kind of like that hot topic for debate, but I'm not even saying this in terms of graphics. I thought it was a cooler world. I can't imagine myself in a world where someone decided, hey, what would be a really awesome design for a spaceship, like a scientific station, is a cooked turkey.
It's so uncreative that after it cooked and stewed for 30 years, it's kind of creative again.
Yeah, and this was like some scientific research lab, so they were like, yes, we will take that one. You know,
because we're ironic scientists. We don't need cutting edge technology. We need ironic, punny technology. Very punny. Oh my God. See, we're making this work, actually. We're immersing ourselves in the world. I was going to mention about, not Star Trek, that's another thing. It's Space Quest, that's the one that we're talking about. Bloody Space Quest is one of the few futuristic space-based worlds that's not, comparatively, it's not in that much peril. Like, right. It seems like in fiction, when you're in space, it's always just horrible. You know, if you anything from Star Wars to current Marvel, etc., it's a lot of war and shooting. It seems real hard to just, like, you know, have a nice time out there. Don't even worry about it, kind of thing. There's always some conflict. Whereas Space Quest, it seems like it's kind of jokey conflict. I could handle it.
Okay.
Like, they can't be living in that much horror and peril if they're making, like, turkey-shaped spaceships. That's a happy person at its core, even if it's real corny or whatever. You know, they're doing their best. They got a sense of humor. Don't worry about it. You know.
All right.
So just to add some substance, I thought about this for not long and hard, but kind of hard for a short period of time, and I was like, yeah, it'd be the one time I could live in space in the future, and it's not all about, like, you know, laser wars and shit. And also, I think people would find love much easier if it was EJ, because everyone's would look the same.
Yeah, that's true. I
you
think
might be built like a Ken doll down there, but you're gonna find love.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, it depends planet to planet, obviously, but I guess the good thing is you can choose which planet you want to go to. It is still a little bit hostile. There are, you know, giant snakes that eat you. There's things under the ground that try to kill you. There's a lot of desert planets, apparently. Orats, spider droids.
You know, that's a good point. It might turn into, like, that kind of, you can't escape real life, because no matter what, you ultimately just want to be where you're comfortable. Like, I might spend a few years like, oh, I'm doing Space Quest. I'm a space guy. And then after a few years, I'd be like, I think I just want to go back to Earth now. Like, I miss my bed and home. And so this whole thing is just a giant ruse to live back on Earth, but slightly in the future.
Right. All right. Well, I mean, it is interesting. It's something to think about. It is kind of, there is obviously hostility, because like I said, it's kind of hard to get away from that in the video game worlds, the video game universi. So, but as far as things go, you know, Space Quest does show signs of peace. You know, there's a lot of these hostile aliens and creatures that just kind of are standing around in the Space Academy, just chilling out because they're all students. And yeah, there's some harmony amongst species there. That's kind of cool to look forward to.
Yeah, it's got a lot of bright purples, real nice palette. ZZ Top's alive if you're into them.
Blues Brothers are still alive.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's a better one. All right, now I'm sold completely. I'm going.
All right, well, have fun. Have fun in what was that one called? What?
Corona or Xenon?
I think Corona. Xenon. Corona is like Corona is the desert planet that you're on.
Nice, it is.
Yeah,
it is. There's also Fedor.
I don't know what that is.
Gallons, Fandom is crazy.
Well, yeah, I've only played Space Quest 2 and Space Quest 4 like once a piece. So there's probably like a whole bunch of stuff in those ones that I just don't know because I forgot them.
Right. I could even do with that trashy planet on Space Quest 6. Like, that's fine.
Really?
Got I got spaceships and holograms. Maybe it takes a lot longer to travel than I'm thinking, because that would suck. I'm just assuming I could zip around.
Right.
All right. Well, anyway, I've got some honorable mentions I'll save for later. Why don't you take the mic?
Okay. I guess, you know, again, this is hinging on I'm not the protagonist. I'm just somebody who is there. And so I chose Rock Band, because then it's just like a rock concert all the time, and that'd be awesome.
Oh, that's really cool. That's outside the box too. Would have never thought that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my pick for the game world I'd want to live in.
You don't sound willing to talk more about it.
Or sorry, I do have two picks. The other one is Lemonade Tycoon, because then I could just work at a lemonade stand and make all the money I want, and go to rock bands.
And then just go back over.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's all I would ever do is sell lemonade and go to rock concerts. That is my perfect world right there.
That's also a good like high school bad boy line.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe. I'll just sell lemonade and go to rock concerts.
Because don't get me wrong, yeah, you're going to probably say, "Oh, well, why don't you just do that in real life?" So, no. This is Lemonade Tycoon. I can become a millionaire from selling lemonade. I know I'm not supposed to be the player character, but I mean, this is a world where all it takes to become a millionaire is to open a lemonade stand. So I don't have to be like the player character, but I can like open the pink lemonade stand across the street and be like, I'll take half of that million. And now I'm a 500,000-aire. See you at the rock concert.
Christ, you're going to have to really like turn lemonade as we know it on its head for it to do that well, mate. Like,
well, in this world, yes,
structure.
But in the world of Lemonade Tycoon, all it takes is the right pricing and inventory, and I'm a millionaire.
They have an odd thirst for lemonade. So do you personally even like lemonade?
I love lemonade.
Ah, see, all right, that's good. Just making sure you're passionate about it.
Yeah, and this will be a world in which I get to spread that love and joy of lemonade onto others and spend the rest of my time in rock concerts.
You have a big mansion that you come home to like Scrooge McDuck and jump into a giant pool of lemonade.
Oh, yes. I would not be a pleasant person to be around because I would just be sticky and sour the entire time. Physically.
Physically. That's interesting. I feel like someone would have to lick you to know that you'd be sour. Physically.
They can smell it on me. And I'll be like, you know what that smell is? Money and rock concerts.
Oh god, that's kind of awesome. I feel like John Hughes should have made a movie about this exact specific scenario. And why Emilio Estevez is in the lead.
So explain to me now why you would like to live in the world of Jones in the Fast Lane.
Oh god. Jesus Christ. I was gonna say something grim like because I've got weeks to live, but I wouldn't want to die there. Jesus. God, what a sad ending.
They have affordable education there, though.
Do they? They do, but then their French fries cost twice as much as bloody education does.
See, that's why I prefer Lemonade Tycoon. I don't need an education to sell lemonade, and selling lemonade gets me all the rock concerts I want.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would say you win that argument, except for I never chose to be Jones in the Fast Lane.
All right, I'll let you have that one.
But and it's hard to poke holes in yours. I've been trying to. I'm twisting my beard kind of cynically right now, trying to. But it's like, if that's all you want to do and that's all you can do, what can I really poke into it? Like, well, your buddy, you're gonna be stuck at rock concerts your whole life, but you clearly stated that's what you want for some reason. That would be maddening.
Well, I mean, that's not necessarily the only thing. It's something which I can do a lot. I'm just saying, like,
that's true. You can sell lemonade while you're not at rock concerts. I forgot.
If I want to travel, I'm sure some of the millions of dollars I made selling lemonade will facilitate that.
What if that world had no Advil or Tylenol ever, and so you're stuck with a perpetual headache?
That's like my life already.
Damn it.
Except in my current life, I don't get to make millions of dollars selling lemonade.
I'm not going to be able to talk you out of this lemonade dream of yours, am I?
I might be. No, okay, I'll also be honest. I never actually did very well at Lemonade Tycoon, so I don't know if you're able to make millions of dollars. But at any rate, you can make like $1,200 in a single day selling lemonade.
Jesus Christ. You said 1,200 or 12,000?
1,200.
That's still mega.
1,200 a day selling lemonade. That's the kind of world I want to live in. And like I said, maybe I have to compete against the player character, so I'll just open the booth across the street and I'll make the $600 a day. I don't make $600 a day at my current job, and I work pretty hard, and I live a pretty reasonable life, so $600 a day selling lemonade, that's pretty awesome to me.
God, yeah. I mean, while we're at it, cut it down to 300. Still pretty fucking great. So, there's no, and if business got hard, you could like come up with a gimmick, like get like blue food dye, and then all your lemonade will be green or whatever. Because blue and yellow does make green. I thought about that. See how quickly the mind processes these things? It's amazing. All right, yeah, I am sold. I can see my favorite musicians have a nice tasty glass of lemonade. I hope it's like 3/4 sugar, and I'm in. I can't help but wonder, like, what if like at stage 3 in that game you turn into total shit at it, and it turns in like a personal hell where you're stuck working this horrible dead end job. It keeps putting you more and more in debt, and there's no time to go to any rock concerts. I will say this is just the nerd in me has to say this for some reason, but I think it was one of them, number 3 of the music one, Rock Band. No, it was Guitar Hero, same world, whatever. Had Slash and Tom Morello in it, and they're my 2 favorite 1 and 2 guitarists. So that would be a world to live in.
Well, there you go.
So shine on, you crazy diamond! I can't talk you out of this dream. He's got a van and a dream. Who am I getting your way? I just want to be that like asshole politician in a top hat that shows up asking for permits for your lemonade stand. See? And that's how I'd talk. All right. Well, to those of you listening, not to all of you, what are you thinking right now? Tell us with your thoughts. Let us know which one you think is winning. Just go on, say it out loud. Like a lunatic alone in a car in traffic.
You say Rick or Paul, just right now. Just say it right now. No context, out loud, top of your lungs. All right.
Oh, most of them said me. That's awesome.
Probably.
Oh, God. All right, now leave a comment saying who you said. All right, I'll leave you alone. I'm too much fourth wall breaking now. Fifth wall. So I got some honorable mentions. You want to get into them?
Yes, please.
All right.
Because I've exhausted all of my creative energy at this point.
Magnum opus is a bloody lemonade stand. It's wholesome as fuck. I love it. It's actually kind of adorable. Look at him go in a big world, everyone. All right. So my honorable mentions. One of them is kind of decent, but I think it would be maddening to live there, and that is the Neverhood.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Good soundtrack. A little dark, kind of dimly lit. I'm not sure about the sky situation there, but
I don't know if you can hear the soundtrack though, as a resident of the Neverhood.
That's true. That's probably for the better. I would turn on it pretty quickly. Even if that took months, it'd be relatively quickly.
It would be very lonely too, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, Willie Trombone seems like a bit of a drunk or something, so that could get old. Also, yeah, I was trying to think of when I was almost going to pick this. I'm like, is there a part in the game that proves you can mold what you want out of clay? And there is not. So that was my only argument. Like, if I could bring things into existence myself, then I could have fun with that. But I don't think there's evidence of that in that world.
So, you'd be a resident of the Neverhood. So you'd be one of the ones who's born at the end. So you'd be a clay figure. There'd be like 10 of you.
Everyone chews with their mouth open, so that's a negative. It's as soon as you say 10 more too, I'm like, I can't convince you because I want to bail them out because the Neverhood's not that big. Like it felt kind of small for just Clayman, let alone for all them other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's this little floating slob of clay or whatever. It's not big enough for all them. Whose idea was this? It's awful. Bloody heat lamps on all the time. Ugh. You probably smell the melting clay. Everyone's got weird clay-like body odor. I'm out.
Right. Is there any game that you absolutely do not want to live in their world?
I think Toonstruck would be kind of a bad acid trip.
Okay.
You know, be like if you haven't played it, which I actually haven't. I'm going on visuals here, people. That's enough. I can see that it looks annoying. It looks like Roger Rabbit. Sorry, I'm laughing because I was about to say for those who haven't played it. Well, don't worry, I haven't either. I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. But I mean, it sucks. Am I right? No, it looks. I'm just assuming it's a lot like Roger Rabbit, and it seems very loud and kind of obnoxious. They're probably mourning people. I'm not into it.
All right. All right. Well, that's honestly, you can't go too far wrong choosing any sort of video game universe that would suck to live in, because they kind of all do. There's not many good places to live. I'd say if there's one place I really don't want to live, maybe it's I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. That'd be pretty bad.
Yeah, that seems pretty hostile.
Yeah, that's like Eternity of Torture. That's not my thing. I'd prefer selling lemonade and going to rock shows.
God damn it. Gonna find out who this episode is sponsored by later. It's gonna be bloody tycoon people. Typhoon? I don't know.
Lemonade Typhoon.
Never slung lemonade. Yeah, it's. I mean, basically, it's any world without electricity plus them things we just said would be horrible.
All right.
Couldn't do it. I was gonna. One of the ones I was gonna mention as positive would be was gonna be like Gabriel Knight 1 or Tex Murphy Under a Killing Moon, because I love that it's got that noir kind of vibe. But I mean, like, especially Gabriel Knight, that's me saying like, oh, hey, I want to move to Louisiana, and that's not true. So we can't make that one, because you're not Gabriel, right? It's just I'm just in New Orleans now. It's not. You can do that if you want to. Like, you can move to New Orleans.
It's like it's just living here. I'm already doing that.
Yeah, so that's all I got. One loss. I guess that's not all I got. Actually, not even one. Two lost calls I had. I'll break down. Do you have any more before I just keep there?
I not to my current knowledge, unless I want to get really weird and be like, I'll be Sim Earth, because it would be that doesn't even work. Never mind. I'm gonna just
I'll be Earth. I'll be ascended to some type of god.
But I'm not the player character, so I can't be that. I was going to go with like, oh, I'm going to be Sim Earth because I'll be God. It's like, oh, but you're not the player character, so you're just going to live on this planet that just gets rained with meteors all the time.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of saying like, I'll be a tree. Like, you're just going to exist somewhere forever, a really long time. Sounds peaceful on one hand. What about it's one of your favorite games. What about Loom? The world of Loom. I don't know what it's bloody called. I don't think it's called anything.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of nice, but I mean, I guess
it's nice this time of year, but you know, winters.
I mean, we do get back to the thing where, you know, I don't think I've ever noticed anywhere in the game where they have like indoor plumbing.
Right. Say not tents would be a nice start.
So maybe there's like a 4-note draft to like clean up after yourself or something. Like, you know, use the toilet and there's like a 4-note draft for flush or something like that. But yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't flush. It just turns the poo green.
Yeah. Die.
Yeah,
spiral.
I feel like the music thing will get old, and I don't know. There's not much going on there. There's no electricity, like we said. Even Spielberg has like mud huts. This is straight tents. Well, there's that really cool glass palace, but I could dissect that. There's a cow. All right, they do build things too, but it's not into it. What about this is my last one. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say glass palace. You probably don't get a whole heck of a lot of privacy in there.
Yeah, exactly. That would really cut into my weekends.
That'd be kind of awkward. Can you imagine just like living in like a giant glass palace, but like everyone can see what everyone's doing all the time?
Yeah, that would be really strange. All right, I got one last one. This one was actually my second choice to Space Quest. It was Monkey Island universe or Melee Island, if I have to pick one. Just for the piratey vibe. Seems all cartoony, kind of fun. Jaunty, if you will.
Yeah, it's all right. Again, if that's the only life I knew, like I do like pirate lore and that sort of things. There's a part of me that always kind of wants to live in that sort of thing, but and especially if we're choosing to live in these specific worlds as they're depicted and not what real life pirates might have actually been like. But something like Monkey Island, I don't know. It just seems it seems like the kind of place to appreciate from afar. It is whimsical,
it's a nice vacation,
but it's there's everyone's running around trying to pick fights with you and insulting you at sword point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I would yeah, like you said, maybe for like a holiday that'd be fun, but I don't think I'd want to stay. Plus, there's probably a lot of STDs in those days. Like, a lot of barnacles and stuff. Seems like people were very dirty.
But you can't die in a LucasArts game, or at least it's very difficult.
Right, so you just have like an itchy crotch for your whole life. It's horrible.
So I guess that's kind of a thing about Space Quest, is that you'll die like very, very easily.
That you can die very easily?
Yeah, Space Quest.
That's a good hole to poke in it. Because I really felt like I came out on top till you said that. Because I'm in the future now. Like, everything's great. And it's such a peaceful future that there's fast food. Like, you can see that in Guardians of the Galaxy. There's too much destruction and terror. This place, obviously... But you're right, you can... Maybe, yeah, just as easily in the latter games. I would just avoid staircases. That's all. Right?
All right, yeah.
Stay away from this. I've already, at least by doing that, I've doubled my life expectancy. I could do better, but I've already doubled it just by avoiding stairs. I'll get a flat. It'll be fine. I think we actually both pick good ones. I don't think there's a way to pick anything that's either not the best case scenario for this kind of life, which you've done, or picking something in the future, because you can't go back. It's gross. Maybe I'll call me unimaginative or wherever you will. Call me names and stuff. That's not the point. Don't do that, mate. Come on. I'm all right. I try my hardest. No, go do what you want. But but it's maybe I'm being unimaginative in the sense that like I keep letting the logistics of living without electricity get in my head. But I mean, I'm committed to the role. If we're gonna live somewhere forever, I'm taking that bang on serious. And I don't think I could do without electricity. It'd be magical. But it'd be shit after like 2 weeks. Everything gets old after a couple of weeks or months. Every place. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, why don't you all let us know what video game worlds you would like to live in? Just I don't know. Do that. Just internet at us. Just internet us your answer, and we'll see you on the internet.
Yeah. Good luck out there. Bundle up. I don't know, because it's cold in the internet. All right. Don't. I'm just saying the thing. Don't do murder.